Turn it up.
Get ready.
You're tuned in to VO Weekly.
The show where aspiring voice actors,
Established VO pros,
and curious fans alike get to meet and learn.
from the mega successful talent in voiceover, hear their personal stories, find out how they became so successful.
Learn their secrets and join them at the top.
Come on and get buzzed with us. We know that you have a dream. Go be all you wanna be. So come on and get buzzed with us.
And now, prepare to get seriously buzzed with your hosts, Chuck Duran and Stacey J. Aswad.
Hey everybody, I'm Stacey J.
And I'm Chuck Duran.
Welcome to part 2 with the incredible Dave Walsh.
Absolutely. Going to be a great show.
It is.
But you know what? I got to say something real quick.
Yes.
Because I need you guys to know, we need you guys to know.
This is a plea, a call to action.
This is a call to action, baby. And if you guys watch our videos, which you are, because I see you right there. If you're watching our videos and you're enjoying watching our videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. All these people are watching these videos, and a lot of you are not subscribing to our YouTube channel. And you know what? We need you to click subscribe.
Click it.
So that we feel good.
And if
Or
you
either
like
that or send
it,
us cash. One of the two. But if you're not going to send us cash, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
and share the videos, tweet about it, post about it,
Absolutely, man.
and let us know what you think.
Here we go with Dave.
Okay.
Part 2. So your TrueTell method of teaching.
Yes.
And I don't know, maybe I was in space. When did you guys talk about this? But your TrueTell method of teaching.
Chuck.
Is it
Chuck's like,
trademarked?
Welcome back.
It's
Chuck.
trademarked?
Yes, it's trademarked.
Yes, we're in trademark. It's kind
Yeah.
of it was kind of looking at that as being kind of the focal part of the business. Trying to find the name first was I didn't know what to call it, and I swear to God, it was a method I used for several years and didn't have a name for it. Like I didn't know what to call it.
Yeah.
The mask.
Then the mask.
Yeah, that's taken.
This is the coolest part of it.
Yeah.
This is where I become a freak. Actors would regurgitate the name back to me after I said it. They go, well, the TrueTell, I'm in my TrueTell, and I'm like, what? So when it stuck, I'm like, we got something.
Yeah.
That was cool. And so
Yeah.
they pretty much told me what to call it.
That's cool.
Love
Which is
it.
very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I love
It's
that.
very catchy.
Yeah, it's catchy.
Absolutely.
Rolls
Yeah.
off your tongue.
The TrueTell method.
Yes.
Hey, if you want to learn from that guy over there and
Tweet
get
him.
some good stuff, forget about TrueTell. Tell the truth, damn it.
Tell the truth.
No. I am so excited about that,
I
man,
know.
because
It's exciting.
more people need to work with you. Period. I feel that because what they're going to get out of the experience of working with you, man, they're not going to get from anybody else. Everybody brings a little something different to the table.
Yes.
We all
and
do,
What
yeah.
Dave brings to the
Yes.
table is absolutely priceless.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for that, buddy. I know
Thank
you
you
did
both
that
a
is,
for that.
but
lot of hard work
you're
to make that
empowering
happen.
people.
That's what makes it feel really
and that
cool.
is
Absolutely.
really because you can't guarantee anything to anybody.
No.
But you can empower them so that they are 100% walking out the door with confidence and that belief that I'm in my skin, I'm in my voice, and the rest, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
But
that's it.
It's beautiful.
that
You're
really-
giving it back in a big way.
Yeah, it's just kind of making them feel authentic about what they bring to the table, because
Yeah.
that creates their signature. That creates what their agents and their reps and they can sell.
I love it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is
Okay.
another thing I'm quoting you back to you. I love doing that.
She's all about the quoting.
Well, you're very
I love that you do
quotable.
that. I actually love that you do that.
I love it. Story doesn't originate in sound, but in the soul. Trust your gut and the voice will follow.
Yes.
And so will the bookings.
Absolutely.
That's really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When that started happening, when
Yeah.
clients would call and they hadn't booked in months or they hadn't done such and such, and I know all of us as coaches, you revel in when a client has a win like that.
Yeah.
But when they start to trust in themselves and trusting that their story is enough, and then the bookings start follow behind it, it's very cool. But it really is all about trusting that it is enough, that you don't need to put it on, that you really
Yeah.
have the ability
Yeah.
just to tell the story.
Love it.
You know?
I love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into some nitty grids here. We're gonna
Nitty-grids?
Nitty-grids. We're gonna ask Dave some cool stuff that you guys need to be doing.
It's a lot of this. I love it. He's doing this with cards all the time.
Absolutely, because
He left his fan at home.
I like the wind hitting me. I like to pretend like I'm in like the beach and the
likes
the
circulation.
sun's
Hope I have that effect
shining.
on you, Chuck.
These are hot lights. What can I say? So what are some things that some of our good friends out there, good voiceover actor friends out there, can do or should be doing maybe to stay on top of their trends as far as the reads go?
Yeah.
What are some things that they can be doing to stay on top of that?
This is all I hear.
Advertising.
I don't watch television.
Yeah.
I don't listen to the radio. I cut my cable. Okay, got it. But as a vocal coach myself and as an actor, got to keep your cable, kids, or need to go online. There is no excuse to not know anymore. We've got, tablets, smartphones, Twitter. Every form of information, Siri, Google, whatever it is, you have the opportunity to know about every product, every brand, etc. Do your homework.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean you have to know everything about everything, but I've actually done workshops with working pros. Top of their game. They'll walk in the booth and I'll say, what is this show about? And they've had 15, 20 minutes in the workshop to prep. And I've said, do me a favor, come out and we'll let you back in when you're ready. Because at that level, you have no excuse not to know, because it's a disservice to the show.
Sure.
I look at it that way, and people think I'm a stickler, but I'm going, that's a disrespect to the product, to the show, to your talent, the director's time, everyone's time in the room.
Right.
We have no excuse but not to know.
Yeah, just because your agent or manager didn't include the YouTube link doesn't
blame
mean
them.
you need to do the. Yeah, I've gone to auditions recently where they're like, "What is this? What is this for?" And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
Bah,
you
boo.
got your phone right with you.
And just to add to that a little bit,
do your homework.
Yeah.
Here's a really cool analogy on that, is that you get an audition and it's for LegalZoom.
Right.
Okay? Now, the normal person, even if it had no specs on it, the normal person would be like, oh, LegalZoom, these are legal services. It's going to be professional and straightforward and, it's LegalZoom.
Right.
Okay? But it's not. Because the way LegalZoom brands, or at least now, the way they're branding themselves now, it's not about legal services.
Right.
It's about them having your back. It's helping you make your dreams come true, incorporating your business or blah, blah. And it's very, very warm and friendly, and it's got a fuzzy feeling to it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't go and watch some of their stuff that they're doing now and how they're branding themselves, you would never know that.
Get a feel go to their website, do your research on the company. Go to YouTube and type in LegalZoom commercials.
Right.
Even if they've only done one commercial, you know what they did the last time.
iSpot.tv.
iSpot.tv is a huge resource.
Yeah, great.
Promo. I always say to people, if you look at cable systems, here's this I love. It's what I call the promo prism.
Yeah.
Every cable system and DirecTV have all of their channels by categories. All the news channels are together, all the sports channels, the kids channels, everything's separate into categories.
Yeah.
Take your DVR, record a half hour of each network, take one genre, a week, a day, whatever, come home, fly through them. You've seen the shades of differences between Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, CNBC. They're all a shade of each other, but the stories are slightly different. So all you're doing is literally standing on top of the prism, and if you take every network and lay it flat and look at them this way, everything is just a shade different in their categories. And that for you is just to keep you fresh, maybe every 6 months. New networks that have come in, networks that have left, rebranding, all that stuff. Because again, don't make your managers or your agents the data miners. They don't have time for that. It's up to us to really be the storytellers.
Absolutely.
Well, and the state of the world and what's happening affects advertising, which affects everything. So
And I have found that the people who do this are the ones that are making serious dough.
Yeah.
Because when you do this kind of stuff, it shows in your reads and everything, and everybody notices too.
Yeah. But I think the thing that the misnomers, and people will say, the tops in our business, whatever category, that they're working every day, are they really talking to someone, are they really doing such and such? And I say this, when you have reached that level of confidence in knowing who you are in that booth, we all know this, we walk in, when I was literally at that place where it was just booking after booking, I never thought about being insecure, feeling like it didn't work, I didn't know what I was doing, and then needing to rebrand and coach over time and again. But when you're in that zone every day, just like every athlete, when you're in that zone, throw me the script, throw me this. You know how to tell the different stories because you're on the court every day.
Having said that, when you are in that zone, isn't it still imperative to still train, to still fine-tune, to still work with a coach, do a workshop?
Yeah, because I never, in all the years as a performer, and still, I don't think there's any time where I've not thought you shouldn't still be coaching. Doesn't mean you need to beat a dead horse, but every once in a while, tweak. And the greats have been doing their own tweaking and going in workshops, doing privates. Every once in a while, they'll come in for a tune-up.
Absolutely.
Because that's what we do.
Right.
It's never about resting on your laurels saying, I never need to go again. And, so there's always a need. There's always an opportunity.
What about branding? That's such like a big word nowadays. Everybody's talking about branding. I mean, you have people that specialize in just branding, know, from websites to your sound to what you look like to how people perceive you. What are some important things that you feel, since you have such a great background in branding, that people out there can be doing that maybe they're not, or maybe some of them are, but should be doing something differently?
Yeah, I think I believe in less is more. I never believed in making your website. Let's talk about a website first. I don't think that a website should be so over-encompassing of, look at all my new stuff. Make it simple, straightforward, and so much of our demos now are videos. I mean, creating a 60-second video demo reel. Just put up and rotate your videos. Everything is so cheap to produce now. There's no reason you shouldn't constantly be refreshing the website. Because that's where people go to. And Andy Lerner, again, I will credit, years ago said to me when I did my website, one of my incarnations, Andy goes, dude, thank you for making it easy to get to. He goes, no casting director wants to spend time data mining your vlog, your blogs. Give me your demos, give me your latest and greatest. Let me in, let me out.
Exactly.
And I think that you have to also be aware of the age of your vendors. They could be anywhere from 24 to 54 or 64 or 74. Know that you've got a range of audience that's listening to what you're doing. Make it easy for them. Don't make it difficult. It really has got to be that simple.
And don't
truthful. Anyway.
And if you're trying to find work and agent representation and stuff like that, don't hide your demos in other pages. I mean, those things need to be like right there. Don't make people click multiple times to hear you.
No, not at all. Because then they're just they're gonna give up. They'll totally give up.
I've been to websites where I'm like, okay, so where are the demos? And I click on the demo page and I still can't find the demos.
And you can't believe you can't find them.
And I can't, because I know my way around these things.
No, exactly.
You're tech savvy, Chuck.
So any last thoughts about branding? Or last thoughts, period.
Yeah, I think just we're done?
No, we're not.
This is it. Where's your last shot, Walsh? No, I think that it's just the stupid old cliche statement of keep it simple, stupid. It really needs to be that, and but I'm, as you are, never cease to be amazed by the fact that people just think it needs to be that much more. And the other thing about demos, never do a demo until you're ready. Because other people will try to convince you to do a demo. It's not about, in my estimation, in 2016, it is not about coming in, coaching for 8 weeks and doing a demo. It just, and when I do demos, I don't do demos with clients that are not my clients. I don't do demos off the street. I don't, it's kind of like for me, because it's for the client, if they're going to an agent, if they were about to look to be signed, to me, it's my reputation as a coach and director, but it's the client's, potential client's career. For me, it's just kind of, and the fact that people like you who really nurse and work with your clients in a way that, as a producer, you're awesome. And it's one of the reasons why, and I'm going to say this on camera, fact that
we're on camera. We're not turning them off.
Say it in slow motion. We'll loop it.
What I love about you is that you were one of the fact that several of our clients have wanted to work with both of us, and the fact that you let me come in here to work with you and co-direct.
Which you
that's
don't
huge,
do very
and I
often.
really respect that.
That's the other thing. I don't do that.
I know.
And I only do that with 1.5 people.
Who's the half person?
You're the half person. No, I'm just
Great.
kidding. I only do that with 2 people, and you're one of them.
I
And
appreciate it.
I literally tell everybody else, nope. It just creates more work for me later.
And you know what it is? It's the rare circumstance that happens. But when we do it, I mean, you and I, we're in and out. It's not trying to.
And we're in tune. We both think exactly alike.
It's all
which I
the
love.
judging you
I
guys
have
have
cried
done
once,
together.
though.
Because you did?
Yeah, once. In the car driving home.
Oh, okay. Because when you say something or I say something, you're like, yeah, that's it. And but we're like very, very, like we're both on the same page.
Yeah.
Well, you guys do all your judging together at That's Voiceover. You're always on those
We love
promo panels.
That's
and
fun. The first time we did that was really cool. And then when we did
Wasn't
it this
it?
past time, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It's
Now
really-
I always request, it's like, make sure Dave's on
Make
that.
sure Walsh is
Otherwise-
sitting next to me.
Otherwise, forget about it. I'm not doing it.
Do you have any other demo do's and don'ts that pop out to you?
Demo do's and don'ts. Okay. Be aware, and this goes to the research. Be aware of who's hot. If you record a commercial with the voice that's been part of the brand for 5 years, don't do it.
Yeah.
If it's for a network show that's hot, and get to understand and know, like right now, currently in 2016, NBC pretty much has their voices. They know who they want.
Yeah.
There's about three or four voices there. NBC Radio is a little bit different. CBS takes more, it's a little more flexible. ABC is a little more flexible.
Yeah.
If you're going to put big broadcast network promos on your demos, be aware of which network you should put on there if you've never worked in promo.
Right.
Because the producers, the brand man, the creative directors, they're going to know that it's not you.
Right.
I know it's a sample,
Yeah.
but it also, it kind of takes the legitimacy down a notch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, everybody's done one of these commercials. Someone has always booked the job.
Mm-hmm.
But just be, in other words, if a product has multiple voices, that's one thing. But if a product has a standing voice for years, like you would
Yeah.
never do a Chase spot right now because Juliana Margulies has been
Right.
doing it for years.
Yeah.
So, or Allison Janney for Kaiser Permanente.
Yeah.
You just would not do it.
Yeah.
If you're not savvy enough, if you're playing in the big pond,
Yeah.
you really need to know who the players are.
Yeah,
So
that's
it is
true.
about doing your research.
Yeah.
It really,
And-
really
Right.
is.
I'm going to add a little bit to that because I agree with you, but I also disagree. Why not?
This is going to get good.
Well, because you never know when they're like,
no.
hey, we're ready for a change. And
No.
oh, we heard that. You know, it's
Yeah,
a bit of a
that's true.
gamble.
That's true.
Yeah, if you're going to do a popular read that a lot of people ask for,
Yeah.
for example, some people, there's a call for John Krasinski read,
Yeah.
right? The
Totally.
insurance guy. So if you can do that read really well, don't do an insurance spot with that read.
Oh, yeah.
Do another spot, but throw that John Krasinski feel so now that you're representing this
I totally agree with you.
stylistically, this read that is really, really, really
I
super
totally
popular.
agree with you. Yeah.
If you're going to do something, and this is only because I've had a few agents request that this had been done because they're selling one of their people to a certain network and they want their voice with that network's call letters.
Right.
Could be CBS, ABC, whatever. If you're going to do a promo that say it's on ABC, let's say ABC's Quantico. Is Quantico on ABC?
Yes,
yeah.
it is.
Quantico, okay?
Sunday night.
Don't do it exactly like the guy that's doing it does it. Throw in your thing so
Give
that
it your
ABC
spin.
can hear, wow. If
Right.
we're looking for another drama voice, that's a cool other option that we could use. It would
Right,
fit our
right.
format.
Right.
So you don't want to copy the guys that are doing what they're doing on the
Yeah.
same exact thing that they're doing it on.
Right. Yeah.
Bad.
It's the copying part of it that becomes the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think that whole idea of, doing a show that someone else is already on, I think it's two sides of the fence.
Yeah.
I think both options are valid. Both options
Yeah.
are valid. So, I think that as long as you make it authentic and true, that really, that's the key.
Yeah,
is making it
absolutely.
your own, completely.
And you can't do that, what we're talking about here, okay? You cannot do that by producing a demo on your own. And Brad Pitt does not direct his own movies. He could, but he doesn't. You need a director. You need somebody to guide you through what it is that you are supposed to be doing, because that's how everything works. Every commercial that you hear on television, on primetime, every promo that you hear is all directed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you give them something that isn't, everybody's going to know that it's just like there wasn't a lot of thought behind it. You're going to
hear
I hear
it.
you going oy vey or whatever.
It is, because it's kind of like nails on a chalkboard where you're kind of going, dude.
Yeah.
It's like you don't know how that actually happens, but I think that people, and it includes, I'll be honest, I think it also includes engineers. I think that there are people in our business who are awesome engineers.
Yeah.
Don't be an engineer and a director. You can't be a talent and direct. Let another pro direct you.
Yeah.
Cut it yourself, mix it, sweeten it yourself, but let somebody else direct it.
Yeah.
But that also goes to self-directing, which is a core. That's another thing for me is when we work from home studios all the time, the reason the TrueTell is effective in my eyes is when you walk out of that booth, knowing you've given the most authentic, effortless performance, you know you've hit the core.
Yeah.
You've hit the stride in the authenticity of the story. If you walk out of the booth sweating, as I did with Hyundai, you walk out, it feels bad, that means it will be bad.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, that read will be as missing the mark as you felt it to be. So for me, I make my clients work what I call naked. What?
Hello.
They work with a music stand only. They don't go in a studio. We don't record because I want them to be able to work feeling the story versus hearing the story. And they'll say to me, how did it sound? I'm like, I don't know. How did it feel? I will never say it sounded this way. My first reaction always is, how did it feel?
How did it feel?
Because if it didn't feel good, it wasn't good.
You're right.
Right.
You're absolutely
What do
right,
you
man.
think, and you hear this all the time, and this happens to you all the time, someone's talking to you and it's great, and then they step in front of the mic and it's like, what do you think it is about that microphone getting in front of someone's face that takes away their natural being?
It's their panic of, again, it's going to be very psychological, but it's the panic of not being enough.
Yeah.
And being judged.
Yeah.
It's that kind of thing where when I bring in on-camera actors who start in voiceover, and they may be very successful on-camera actors, but when I take the camera away from them and the microphone, they got nothing. They may be the hottest thing you ever saw. But I'll say to them, I took away your face, your body, your clothes, your stance, your glare. It's gone. Now all you have is soul and voice. Now tell me the story. It's kind of unnerving sometimes.
Yeah.
And there are some that totally meet the road. I mean, they're right there.
Right.
And there are others who really have a great on-camera career. And for you having both, you have that ability to be flexible on both sides.
Yeah.
You know what you bring, mic only and camera, both. But some just don't.
Yeah.
It feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
really vulnerable to them.
Yeah. So obviously there are major shifts happening in our business as the world shifts. And where we are right now in the business, do you have any thoughts about where the business is now, where you think it's going, what's working, what's not working?
Well, I think that as a coach...
Because you've seen quite a...
Yeah, I've seen a shift.
Yeah.
I mean, several years ago, even in the promo, I can speak from the promo business, when what you would get paid for when you do promos, unlike commercials, as we know, in the union business, in Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA, you would get paid per promo. In commercials, you get residuals. Promos started going what we call 5 for 5, meaning there would be 5 spots recorded per episode of a show for syndication. And that number started to dwindle. And now it's basically there's a flat fee, or they're only paying so much per episode. And that's really, the production companies are at the mercy of the distributors in terms of what they're paying for production. That's from the promo side. A lot of what's happening in the business now is no union, non-union, pay-to-play sites, as we know, Voice123, Voices.com, and the controversies and the two sides of the issue with a lot of people. as a voice actor and a member of SAG-AFTRA, I know how I feel as a performer. As a coach, those two worlds are existing.
Yeah.
And there are people obviously on both sides of the fence and
Yeah.
how they feel passionately, and I totally respect that.
Yep.
I think that because of technology, have I heard performers who are non-union that are very good? Absolutely. And stellar voice and stellar
Sure.
union performers.
Yeah.
But have I also heard bad union performers? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So there is that thing where the coexistence of an entrepreneurial pay-to-play career or a self-motivated career and a union career, they can coexist. The union itself, respectfully as a performer, I'm a union guy. But as a coach, I have to stand on top of the industry and look at it as a whole.
Right.
Of course.
I have to.
Right.
I'm
You
not
have
worth
to.
my weight as a coach then.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's looking at both sides of it. Can they coexist? Yes. I would love to have more non-union work moving union, and it is to an extent, but you know, these two worlds do exist now.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, after 2000,
yeah.
after the strike we had, decimated the business, it just there became a new thought, let's call it that,
Yeah.
of how to do business. And we work to keep that work union
Yeah.
as much as we
Well,
can.
there is much dialogue happening about the rates and people's
Right.
value, and you know, non-union doesn't mean non-talented, and you know, it's that what one does supports or undermines the other.
Right.
Yeah.
So keeping that sense of what is the value, not doing jobs for $50.
Right. And I say to talent all the time, and knowing what Gabby Carteris, who's our president, our
Right.
newly minted president, after losing Ken Howard, rest his soul, Gabby and the board have, it's a job. It's a tantamount job that they're working on in terms of keeping and moving more of the business union. But, again, it's on the non-union side when actors are left to rates to create for themselves, and a lot of you guys out there who are working as self-motivated talent, that's a hard job, because people will come to me and say, what do you think I should be paid? I'm like, guys, put it over here. I don't want to get into that with a performer.
Yeah.
It's hard, and it can be sad, because
Yeah.
when companies are asking for ridiculously disrespectful
And
prices,
people want
it's
to work,
insane.
and so you go, I
Yeah.
can do that, and it's like, oh.
Yeah.
you
And if
know.
you're a comer, if you're coming up, you want to work, like you said, you want to do anything to move your career ahead, but it does undermine the other side of our business.
Yeah.
It comes at a big price.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I always tell people when they ask me, what should I be charging? I'm like, don't undersell yourself. Don't be the $50 guy or the
Can't be.
$50 gal, because it's going to hurt you. You're going to think differently
hurt
knowing that you're
everybody.
that person, rather than saying, you know what, I need to have a certain rate, and that's my rate.
Right.
And I know a lot of people that are on pay to play and do that. They'll overbid on jobs because they don't meet their rate. And a lot of the times they book it because they just raise the bar because they're that good.
Right.
Right? And so if you're going to be out there and doing voiceover work on your own, what do you call it, a self-motivator?
A self-motivated marketor, I guess you
I
could
love
call
that.
it that.
That's really cool. That's
Yeah.
another way of saying non-union, right?
That's a new word. SMM. SMM.
I really
You
love
gotta trademark that, too.
God,
Don't
be a lot of work.
don't discredit yourself.
Right.
Don't discredit the whole
Right.
industry, and don't be on Fiverr and doing voiceovers for $5. I mean,
Well, you're not
imagine-
operating in a
imagine if you were a
vacuum,
doctor,
because-
okay, and you went to college and you went to to medical school and all that stuff, and now other people are performing surgery on Fiverr. What that would do to you. So there's
Yeah.
voice actors out there that are professional demos that are studying with you and all these other people and becoming great, the greats of the business, that have invested in their own business, and now you have people discrediting that whole entire
Right,
industry
right.
by
Right.
doing stuff for $5.
Right.
Yeah, totally. And,
Well,
and
know that you're not operating in a vacuum. What you do, what I
Not
do,
cool.
what you do we affect each other.
oh, absolutely.
cool.
Everything is a trickle down.
Yeah,
There's no.
and if you're saying, well, I'm just doing it for practice, do it for free. If you're going to practice, man, do it for free.
Go read to children.
I say that.
yeah.
I say that to actors coming up. I say, go onto the P2Ps as practice.
Yeah, you
and
can-
if you make
you
a
can
buck on
audition-
it, awesome.
Exactly.
But moving yourself towards a union career and moving yourself towards reps, because for me, I want my talent to be repped. I want my talent can motivate themselves, but I also want them repped. And if I have a talent who's so amazing, will I make the phone call to an agent? Sure. I mean, I think if it's something that is worth their while and the talent's while, sure. But I want to be able to feel good about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's, like we said, this is a conversation that's going to go on for years.
Yeah, it's just beginning.
Yeah, but I think that, and again, this just kind of circles back to you guys. What I wanted to say at the head of the show was, and I said this on the 200th episode, you guys have taken this business global in the sense that nowhere else is there in our business, here or elsewhere, where we can have this kind of a show with powerhouses in our business, writers, producers, casting directors, talent, agents. I mean, it's insane. And it's, to me, to be able to sit here after so many people that we know and love have sat here and people after me, I'm honored. I mean, it's a really cool thing, and I really want to thank you guys, for everyone collectively, for what you do for us. It makes people feel good about our business.
Thank you very much.
You
That
know,
means a lot
You're a
to
class
me.
act. You know, now,
try,
now
dude.
I'm actually glad we had you on the show. Before I was like,
You're like, what the hell is
fence.
Walsh doing here?
And
Well,
just
now
for the
I'm actually
record,
glad.
you're the first bottom in that chair, so you've christened us. It's like if we were a boat, we would crack champagne over
Crack
you.
champagne in my butt.
Absolutely.
on
How,
the side of my rig.
how would you finish this sentence?
Okay.
Dave Walsh is...
Now really enjoying the best part of his career. But I think that really is, to me, that's, and it sounds very self-indulgent, I didn't mean to sound that way, but to me it's kind of like, I'm at a good place
You
now
have
for
earned,
what
you
I'm
have
doing.
earned
I
your,
love it.
Absolutely,
you've
man.
paid your dues, you've
Absolutely
earned
love
your
it.
right to be there.
And listen, we are also honored to have you on our show because of all the work that you have put in. You've earned the right to sit in a chair like that, no matter, not just here, that's not just on this
Yeah.
on this
Pardon me.
stage,
Yeah.
but on any stage where somebody can have you to come in to share with the world all the stuff that you've learned, because nothing was given to you. You fought
No,
for a
it never
lot of the
was.
knowledge that you have, and you know, we're blessed to actually be able to share you with the world.
Thanks, man.
So thank you.
I think that the business that we're in, I wouldn't be in any other business.
Yeah.
It's a crazy, screwed up, upside down business that's a roller coaster that none of us want to get off. It's what we do.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what side of the glass you're on. So
Totally.
Thank you guys. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
We have a
Here,
choice for you.
Stacey, I'm going to
Dave
bring
Walsh.
something out
Oh, boy.
here. Why
Dave
don't you
Walsh, not Welch.
Not Welch.
do one of these little.
Would you like...
It's like a Rubik. What
Okay.
It's not a
Just
Rubik's
password?
cube.
Pick a card.
Any card.
Wait, here, I'm going to do it this way.
Just not that card.
Okay, pick a
Just
card.
not the one I just chose. Picking this one.
Don't look
here.
at it.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'll hold that little thing
thank
for
you, Chuck.
Yeah.
There's your lucite top.
All right.
Nothing was harmed to make that.
It's fabulous.
Dave Walsh,
Yes,
what's
Stacey, yes,
your dream job? That's a good one.
Wow. Honestly, to take the TrueTell global. Yeah.
Well, you
To
said
take
it.
this global. Yeah.
Wow.
To me, and it sounds, people go, what?
You're on your way,
No,
baby.
I swear to God, I really, to me, it's kind of, and I'll be honest, there was a point where Maurice Tobias said this to me years ago. You're not, that being a voice actor, she said this a long time ago, is that this isn't where you're done. This is not where you're going to stop.
Right.
And this was when work was literally here. That's not where you're going to stop. And to me, this kind of moves it forward, and it kind of is putting it, writing the next chapter. And to me, it's more about, and you said this, about helping people. It really, to me, is about, and I say this to every client, how can I be of service?
Yeah.
Because and I know it sounds like this evolution of, woo-woo, I always say that.
Yeah.
But it really isn't. It's more about how people feel after a session, or after a recording session, or a demo, or an agent. An agent actually called me after I produced a demo for a client, and the agent said, I want you to know, I always find a note. I couldn't find one on this demo. He goes, I don't know what you did, but this is insane. Thank you so much. And it was a former agent of mine which couldn't have been more of a compliment coming from my agent, my former agent. I love that. And, you know, working with the thing that I love, when I was a kid, my dad was an elementary school principal. He was a teacher. And I was always around teachers my whole life. So being around adults of all different kinds, even as 12, 14, 16 years old, I always appreciated them. And I kind of look at that as a talent with agents that I've worked with. And when I was a studio executive, I was friends with everybody in the business. This is what we did. So for me, as a talent, having been friends with Rita Venari and Mary Ellen Lord for years, with knowing and having been friends with Jeff Danis before he was my agent, Debbie Cope before she was my manager, the people at Cunningham, and the people at Atlas and Abrams, and I mean everywhere, for me, having those relationships really helps now as a coach and a director, because
of course
it's about having those friends that you tap into just because you love being around people like that. It's not because, well, you rep me, I can't talk to you. It's not a parent-child relationship. To me, it's making their clients better. You know, and for all of you out there who have reps, you know, it can be a thankless job. These people work really, really hard to get you jobs. They can't think about you every single minute, but it's up to you, us, to keep you on the court all the time and to work with them. They're not there to babysit you. It's a collaborative effort, you know. So for me, it's having had that opportunity for years, it's great to still be able to work with these people, pick up a phone and call an agent and have that relationship.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's
well, you are speaking the truth, living your truth, and I think TrueTell is going to be everywhere.
It's going to be huge, baby. It's
Dave
huge.
Walsh, reach out, WalshVoiceoverCoaching.com. Thank you, Dave Walsh.
Absolutely.
Dave.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Always a
it's
pleasure
awesome.
to see
Freaking
you.
awesome, man.
Awesome, man. It's
you
just,
guys
it's
pick
really
up your
fun.
finger. Go talk to
Do
this
the
guy.
thing.
Freaking
Do the
awesome.
thing.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Hey guys, it's Dave Walsh. I just got buzzed with Chuck and Stacey. Just something to leave you guys with. Always make sure you live your true tell every single day, because you know inside if a story is true. If you're living your truth, don't let anybody tell you you're not.
Well, that's all we have to share with you with Dave Walsh. And I gotta say, man, how cool is Dave?
He's amazing, and my gosh, when you can talk to someone who's living so authentically from their heart, and wow, he's really, really amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, I love that.
Such a gift.
I love the people in this industry. Let me repeat that.
It's a pickup.
It's a pickup. I love the people in this industry who give authentically. So the coaches and the producers, the people that are willing to help, even the talent. A lot of you out there that are doing really, really great with your business and aren't afraid to share it with some of your colleagues and help them along the way. It is very, very cool, man. I'm so happy to be in this voiceover industry, and I'm so glad that we have you guys to watch us make fun of ourselves.
Yes.
We're going to see you next time with another episode next week, so be there.
And stay tuned to all of our riveting posts on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And just remember, you always have time for a little buzz.
Come on, come on, come on and get buzzed with us.
VO Buzz Weekly is sponsored by Chuck Duran's Demos That Rock. The voiceover demo producer to the stars is now available to you. Visit demosthatrock.com and take your voiceover career to the next level.
See you next time, and remember, you always have time for a little buzz.